When I hit my 2-year work anniversary this year, I got a little automated email saying, "Congrats!" But that's not all. In consulting, year 2 is also when people start asking if you're going out for promotion, which is just a professional way of saying, "Do you have it together?" I want to say I do. I've put in time, canceled plans, stayed up late to put out metaphorical fires. But when you're chronically anxious about doing enough, nothing ever feels like enough. Ever since I started working, I feel like I've been handed the same script over and over. I even tell it to new hires asking me for advice. But actually doing any of those things makes me want to throw up. Outside of work, I am a completely different animal. I once went to a dance party with my Uber driver, who's probably 3 times my age, after realizing we dived at the exact same spot in Indonesia. What are the odds? But the minute I step into an office, it's like that part of me just doesn't exist. Don't get me wrong, I work hard. I'm just not loud about it. Looping in my higher-ups makes me feel like a tryhard. Even just talking at work stresses me out. I feel like I have to be professional but chill, humble but still casually slipping in how good I am at my job. Honestly, I don't even know what to talk about. Corporate America has me convinced that I should have picked up skiing as a child, and I grew up in Singapore. We don't have snow there. For the longest time, I thought the problem was me. I've seen people my age lead client calls, banter with colleagues twice their age, get promoted early, and I kept thinking, why can't I just do that? Why do I struggle to take up space or even take credit for my success? As a 5'3" Asian woman, am I an embarrassment to my corporate forebears? I feel like there's a whole trauma dump to be had there about humility in Asian culture and how it's so opposed to Western corporate values, but we don't have to get into that today. Maybe my frontal lobe finally developed this year, or I just got tired, because lately I've been asking myself a different question. What if I stopped trying to be someone I'm not? Which, objectively, is a dumb thing to say right before a performance review, but I've been seeing signs that maybe this isn't that crazy. A while ago, after a really long week, I was Ubering to the airport with my coworker when he asked how I was doing. And I just cracked. Full on, ugly crying, sobbed the entire ride, which, by the way, was like an hour because, of course, we were stuck in traffic. But my colleague was like, "I totally get you," and I think that was the moment we actually became friends. Because it was real. And then recently, my client sent me an email out of the blue just to say thank you. For running the daily stand-ups, for being encouraging, making the team feel welcome. That was probably the nicest thing anyone has said to me in a really long time, and it made something click. I've spent so much time trying to be seen, but maybe leadership can be about making the people around you feel seen, or creating pockets of air when everyone's struggling to breathe. Even if that doesn't show up on a feedback form, it's still something that I'm really proud of. So no, I'm not the loudest voice in the room, and I don't think I ever will be. I don't know if I'll regret not playing this game harder, but I do know that work feels more human when I stop trying to be someone I'm not. And if that means taking longer to get to the top, at least I'll know who I am when I get there. Because at the end of the day, the real you has always been enough.
I need to fix my posture. So I wasn't planning on filming this after making that whole video, but I just had a really meaningful interaction at work that I wanted to document because it makes me feel like we are on the right track. A manager pinged me out of the blue and was like, "Hey, can we call?" And it turns out that he wants to submit a positive review for me, which was so unexpected. Like, he's not even on the same project or team as me. We just worked on almost like a side quest, building a Power BI dashboard for my project, and I guess it was a positive interaction. He said that he thinks I'm really professional and ready for the next level. I think this was meaningful to me on a couple fronts. Before last year, I had never touched Power BI in my life, but over the span of a couple of weeks, I had to Google and ChatGPT and figure it out. And now we have like a fully functioning burn down chart that I'm super proud of. I even brought my creative side and, changed the little colors. And then the second thing was, I think maybe because this manager was on a different team, I guess I was able to be more comfortable around him, and in doing so brought my normal personality out, which is huge because I feel like for the past 2 years, I've always criticized myself for my natural personality. This is how I normally am. I move around a lot. I feel like my voice tends to be higher, and I've always thought that it doesn't jive with like who I thought a real corporate professional should be, which is very calm and measured, maybe even a lower tone of voice to sound more authoritative. I've tried, I can never keep that up. Like my voice just goes all the way back up. So it really meant a lot that he said all of these really positive things about my performance, even when I was being my authentic self. So maybe we can bring ourselves to work. Isn't that a concept?
I know a lot of us are figuring out how to exist in all these different spaces that we don't necessarily choose to be in. So I'd love to know if you feel the same, or if you found ways to make those spaces feel a little more like you. I started making these videos as a way to process all the confusion I have about life right now. Knowing they resonate with you makes me feel a little less insane. So thank you for being here. And as usual, I'll catch you on the next crash out.